Hi everyone, it's time to review our vocabulary words that we learned this week. Today you'll be discussing the words and comparing them and coming up with examples, so you're going to need someone to talk to. Remember, it's really important to discuss what you know about these words to really show that you know them, okay? So if you need to pause the video and go grab someone, go ahead and do that. All right, the first word we're going to go over is our word soar, and soar means to fly high. So I want to know, what are some things that soar? You're going to talk to your partner about them, and when you do, I want you to use the word soar. So you might say, an airplane soars. So use the word when you do it. All right, go ahead and do that now. All right, if you don't have enough time, go ahead and pause me and unpause me when you're ready to keep going. All right, the next word we're going to go over is tangled. Tangled means twisted together in a messy way. So I want to know, what's something that gets tangled? When you talk about it, I want you to use the word tangled. So you'll say, for instance, a kite gets tangled. Go ahead and talk now. Good. The next word we're going to go over is our word snooze, and snooze is a nap or a sleep for a short time. So I want to know, would you snooze if you were exhausted? Why? So you would say, I would snooze if I was exhausted because, or I wouldn't snooze if I was exhausted because. Go ahead and use the words now. All right, the last word we're going to go over is the word drowsy, and drowsy means sleepy. So I want to know, what do you do when you feel drowsy? When you talk about it, use the word. So you're going to say, when I feel drowsy, I, and then continue. Good. Thank you for participating. Next, we are going to answer questions about our words soar and tangled. All right, I have a question for you. Do you think it would be fun to be able to soar? Why or why not? So when you talk about it, I want you to say, I do think it would be fun to soar because, or I don't think it would be fun because. Go ahead and talk about it now with someone at home. Great. So now I want to know, if you soared above the park, what might you see? When you talk about it, you would say, if I soared over the park, I would see, and then give some examples. All right, next we're going to talk about tangled. Would you be happy if your shoelaces were tangled? Why or why not? So you would say, I would not be happy if my shoes were tangled, or maybe you would say, I would be happy if my shoes were tangled, but explain why. All right, here's another question for you for tangled. Would you buy a ball of yarn if it were tangled, like at the store? If it was already tangled, would you buy it? Why or why not? So I would or would not buy a ball of yarn if it were tangled because. Excellent work. All right, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to act out, well, I'm going to act out, snooze and drowsy. And I want you to pay close attention to what I do, because you're going to explain what I did to act them out, okay? All right, I'm going to do drowsy first. Are you ready? Here I go. Acting. Oh, gosh, it's been a long week. I'm kind of tired. I can barely keep my eyes open. Oh, gosh, I'm so tired. All right, tell somebody at home what I did to show that I was drowsy. All right, last one. I'm going to act out snooze. Are you ready? Watch what I do. You're gonna explain to someone at home what I did to show I was snoozing. All right, here we go. All right, tell somebody at home what I did to show that I was snoozing. Remember to use the word snooze. All right, before we go, let's do our gestures for our words. Are you ready? The first one is sore. The next word is tangled. Then we have snooze and drowsy. All right, how'd you do? Remember, as always, I want you to try to use these nice juicy words outside of school. I want you to try to use them with your family and your friends and really impress them with the vocabulary that you're growing. All right, guys, see you next week.